Tanzu channel or anything like that, so don't feel. But because we're talking about Tanzu, we'll mind our P's and Q's. But what we're going to do, what I'm hoping that we could do, is you've got a project
Mhm.
that is super exciting, and we're going to walk through it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback on it,
Mm-hmm.
and we might have some people join in, we might not, but that's okay. I'm going to record this, so we're doing it live, but I'm going to give you feedback on it. We're just going to walk through it, and we'll see. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that we talked about earlier this week, and we'll just go at it like that. So we'll assume that I'm just trying out your product,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll assume that there's going to be some valuable insights to others. And I'm hoping that we can just think out loud like we were just doing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get started. So where do I go to start?
Well, I have a repo. I'll put in chat that I'd like you to go fork.
You could put it in the public or put it in the public chat, and so that anybody who wants to join, they can go see where it's at, and they can play along.
Sure. Here we go. So this is a repo that has a GitOps installer for tap. Now we're going to have to. I think I have my sealed secrets in there right now.
All right.
And I think this one is for. Well, it doesn't really matter. It runs on any cloud. In fact, I've got 3 of these: one for Amazon, one for Microsoft, one for Google.
So I'm going to fork it.
Yep.
And I'm going to do my things. Cool.
Yep.
I'm going to create a fork. Wait, do I want the main branch only, or do I want them all?
Yeah, the main's only relevant.
Okay. And then I'm going to check that project out. And one of the things is like we want this. One of the things we talked about earlier this week is we want to make this as easy as possible. I'm a big fan of what's the minimum number of prerequisites that I have to go and get this thing done.
Exactly.
Where am I at?
No.
Yep. Get cloned.
I think what I will do is so right out the gates, can you give yourself a wildcard DNS entry? Because we're going to need to give yourself a domain, and you're going to hang your whole cluster off that domain. There'll be one contour ingress. So we need to have a star something, and you'll be giving that an IP address later when you install. But as long as you can, you've dime.com or whatever you use, we're going to be back to that a little bit later.
I use Cloudflare.
That's fine.
And I think I can do a
Great.
wildcard there.
Yeah. The second thing we need is an image registry. So I use Docker Hub. I have SOPs and created secrets for my Docker Hub in here.
All right, so I'm already gonna add some prerequisites, right? So first, I need wildcard DNS.
Yeah.
Then I need a image registry. Okay.
Yeah. So I use my GitHub. I'm only using public repos, but obviously you'll be talking to GitHub. We can go all the way in this stage without needing. Yeah, cool. We don't need to. Afternoon. To get repo credentials, we can bring them back, bring them in later. But because we're reading everything off public repos right now.
Okay.
But we will ultimately seal a secret containing your Git credentials at some point for later.
Okay. Yep.
But I think if you have your image registry, ideally Docker Hub, you have your credentials, and that's an app key we can create later. I think we're good. Now if we open up that repo, I have some where if you go into clusters, TapLab, cluster config, not deployed. Yeah, I need to tidy up my organization here. Okay. These are just some scratch files I've been using, but I have some, you see sensitive file structures.
Mm-hmm.
So I've SOPs encrypted my Docker Hub credential in that first one, the user registry.
Okay.
Secret. So there's a little create script to SOPs encrypted. So you'll need your Azure key. I'll get the link from the tab docs for creating this. And the idea is what we'll do is, and this you'll do obviously off screen. For now, we can actually, to be honest, you can.
So I'll tell you while we're doing this. I'll tell you what I normally do.
Hmm.
I make a .envrc
Yeah.
file. You're familiar with? I do like an export,
Yep.
like a Docker hub equals. But then what I do is a $ bitwarden CLI go get my Docker hub credential. And I'll tell you why. So this way, I've got to log in. So when I do my envrc, it calls out to bitwarden for all my secrets, and I got to log in with my 8-paragraph password. But then I go get it. So none of my passwords are on my box. I can then do the encryption, and I can store it, the sealed secret, etc. going forward. But this is how I normally like to do things locally.
Yep.
So I'm going to just put this in a placeholder here.
Sure. So for my Docker hub in my seal, I have my project path, my username, and my password. And for later on, I have a GitHub client ID and client secret for the tab GUI. So project path, username, and password from Docker Hub will be our 3 key pieces that fill up the majority of our secrets.
So where do I see those?
So the SOP sealed ones are up above, which are not as easy to read, but you would see them. Let me just compare the two. So if you go up to config at the top, actually, if you do a search for SOPs, you'll see the SOPs. You can see some there already, but we can kind of group them all by just finding any file names with SOPs in the name. So this is the batches. I think if you go in, let me see. So I create a user registry Docker config, which I SOPs encrypt, and I have a tap sensitive values. They're two.
I see this.
Yeah. So that's the XXX.
Yep.
That will be your Docker secret values. And I just have I have a script for how I created it.
Got it.
And typically I have my little temp enc folder under my home directory, and the encrypt and copy.sh would be before I put the Visual Studio plugin in to be able to play with them in real time. Also, I tend to do these one and done. I don't tend to come back. I tend to use the seal the secret over and over. So,
right, exactly. So, which ones do I need to put in here first?
Okay, let's see. I think we could start.
This is what I try to get to. I want to get to this.
Yeah, what are the minimum?
envrc file? What's the minimum?
Okay, I'm going to go through my SOPs encrypted files one at a time.
Okay.
So in the sensitive values, I have project. We're doing Docker Hub. So default repository or project path. In my case, it's Fynes/build service because that's my user ID in Docker. Not exactly a secret, but I have it in that file. The next one is my username, and the third is my password. I tend to put
the Docker username.
Correct.
Okay.
Docker password.
Okay.
And again, not as urgent, but we have a GitHub client ID and a GitHub client secret, which we can get our initial install done without, but we would put it in later. And if we're going to do API key driven development enablement of secrets, then we're going to go off to Okta and get a developer account on Okta. So we'll have a developer account, client ID, client secret, issuer URL, and scope, and user. I'm sorry, I'm going fast here. Sorry. Client ID, client secret, issuer URI, to scope. Yeah, and Okta username attribute. Again, just because they're all grouped together, they went into my SOPs encrypted file. So the one, the from the Okta client ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those last 5 values
Mhm.
will be what we need for integrating this with Vault. And sorry, integrating API portal with Okta, which will allow us to have protection. Okay. For the other one, I think we're there. I'm just checking
All
if,
right.
in terms of what values we're going to need to tuck into a sealed secret under the covers. We have to know our Docker server, but that's not necessarily a secret. It does actually. The Docker, the index Docker IO/v1, that will be a value we'll be poking into that secret file. It doesn't necessarily have to come from this environment, from this though, because it's
Okay.
not exactly secret. Okay.
So I want to go here. I want to go to Okta developer. I'm going to assign. I think I should have free for the first
So
tier.
let's see. Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, they let you sign up for one. I'm going
I here. We'll try to not dox ourselves. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're having fun. We're going to walk through this GitOps repo. I'm going to paste it here again. I'll put it kind of at the bottom so everybody knows what we're working on. Boop. We'll boop it.
You will need your PivNet credentials at some point as well. Your
Okay.
TanzuNet credentials.
I think I have those.
Yeah.
I think I have those available. So here I'm doing. Are you creating this account on behalf of company or other? Other.
Yeah.
I need advanced settings.
No.
No.
I signed up for an Okta developer account, generic.
That's what I'm doing, right? No. Wait, I'm on Auth0.
No, Okta.
So here,
Where did I get
right
my
here,
developer test account?
this one.
Developer.okta.com.
Yep.
Yeah. We're in the same place. I set mine up some time ago. Sign up. That was a developer test one.
I'm not a robot. Stairs, right? Does that box count? We'll see. Sure. No, I'm sure. And I have my glasses on. Sure, that's a car. But, okay. All right, I'm not a robot. It's always good to recommend or get that confirmation that I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
Let's continue with Google.
It's personal.okta.com.
Well, we'll see if this works.
Yes, this looks more familiar to me.
Welcome to your Okta developer platform.
Hey,
Activate.
it's this. It's the same on the other side.
All right.
Um,
Let's activate. Oh wait, I had some Okta stuff here, but it was under different email addresses. Here we go. I am doing a new. Put my secrets into my secret store. I'm a big fan of Bitwarden.
nice part about this is we do this once, and then we can start reusing these sealed secrets over and over.
Yes.
And this effort will take us longer, but this becomes a 15, 20-minute affair. I actually did some timing, and you can crank out an AKS cluster in 10 minutes or an EKS or an EKS one.
Yep.
And we've got when we have our sealed secrets and other configuration entries in there, it's another 10, 15 minutes at most for it to roll. that includes deploying a whole set of reference apps, Spring Cloud gateways, API portal, some databases. Again, once our platform's rolled, the magic of Carvel will kick in for us, which is really awesome. And
I think I'm just going to put
survey. So you're in agriculture.
Create an API token.
Right now, we are. Hang on, I'll get the Octa set up. That was a little different. I have to find my link for there. I would.
We can pause. We can come back to it.
Yeah, let's come back to that and see if we can get the rest of it up first, and
All right.
I'll find my notes on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to want to do is follow docs on this page about your SOPs. Let me find the specific part here. You'll be creating an AGE key, and then you'll be SOPs encrypting. So actually, to explain it, if you go into your clusters tap lab and you scroll down to cluster config, and you go into values, the main bulk of the whole platform is living in two files: the non-sensitive and the sensitive ones. Not that guy, the other two. The non-sensitives we have here. This is the domain I was using. You're going to change that to whatever wildcard domain you're going to have. I'm using the HTTP solver for Let's Encrypt, so it'll be an internet-facing domain. But the kickback for that is we don't need to encrypt any TLS certs. They'll just first.
All right.
That it will we'll do a global search and replace looking for EKS Lab 1A, and we'll replace it with whatever your domain is going to be.
So this is your wildcard domain right here?
Correct.
All right. So let's make a wildcard domain. Let's put it on Deshawn.io. So then I'm going to go over to my DNS, and I'm going to make a Fynes, and I'm going to add a wildcard. And wait, I do star dot. Star dot Fynes. But I don't have the address yet. So, but we're going to do that.
We don't need an IP yet. We just need to placeholder it. We'll come back and fill it in later, because what I do is I have a wildcard domain in mind. When the cluster's install, I set it here. And when the cluster's installing and I'm monitoring the Tanzu system ingress folder, and suddenly I see the IP from the load balancer pop up there, that'll be my DNS, kind of out of band while it's reconciling, because that's when I get my IP.
All right.
The other thing I'm going to put in the chat is we're going to do some preparing of the sensitive values file, which is the SOPs encrypted one. That's set into this guy in this folder. And rather than touch this one, we can see it, but we're going to be running SOPs to create the SOPs encrypted version. So I'll put in the chat the doc where it shows us how we can set up with a couple of CLI tools. You're going to need AGE keygen and SOPs, and you'll see them in the prepare sensitive tap values heading on that link I just sent over to you.
All right. Copy link. Let's go to that link. And here's our steps.
Yeah, and you scroll down. Don't worry about all that stuff. Scroll further, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. There, preparing sensitive tap values. So we're doing GitOps with sealed secrets, basically. And so the precursor to that is we need an ultimate key for encrypting everything. And the GitOps reference installation that the repo you just cloned will have some scripts that will use, it will transfer this key into the target cluster. And it will then be able to leverage SOPs encrypted configuration values, which is what we were about to look at a minute ago. So these steps will let us create the encrypted files, or the files with encrypted content that will be your other values file right adjacent to the one that's open right now.
Okay, I don't have that. So can I do brew install it?
I think so. Trying to remember how I got my hands on that one.
Yeah, we're figuring it out, right? These are all the steps.
Yeah, no, this is great. It's a really good test on how much of this I've forgotten how I did it the first time, and
Yeah,
then it's not
and
something
that's part
surprising.
of it, right?
Yeah,
This is the practice of seeing how everybody else. Yeah, you know it, you've done it, but now we want to make it so that everybody else can do it. So
right.
we're going to go through these steps and
Awesome. So you have your
hopefully.
HT Gen CLI. You'll have a
Oh,
SOPS CLI to get as well.
uh,
SOPs.
SOPs, okay. And it might not be on this, but I definitely have that somewhere.
Mhm.
So this
And I
is
will put
running.
a disclaimer out that my repo is also a work in progress, and there's a lot of tidying
Yeah,
up to it still, but it's functional and it's giving me platforms where I'm getting this all going in the environment I want. And I'm in fact reusing all of this work that we're doing now. This is a one and done.
yeah. Sorry, this is taking so long to
Okay.
go.
Um,
Yeah, this is the practice.
so while
Yeah,
we're doing that, we can structure or outline the file that you're going to SOPs encrypt. I think I had that, but I'm going to confirm I have a copy of that in your repo.
and on the banner, that's the
Hmm.
repository that we're working from.
Right.
And then I'm going to show this as the URL
Yep.
that had the other instructions. I should probably put that into the PR that I'm creating,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, please do. This is great. This is kind of sanity checking where the gaps are in this repo. Uh,
Yeah, we'll get this. I don't know why it's taking so long for this.
your brew update.
Yeah, I'm going to go and
Your
make sure that I have everything else. I'm going to shut off some other stuff. I was on a couple of other calls,
Let me.
so I might have some other stuff. I'm going to just try to clean up real quick.
Okay. Not deployed. Sensitive structures.
Yeah, I know from practice, from experience, we can get things to production, and we can do that first pass. But the real value comes in when we can make it repeatable. We want
Right.
to get this repository or some derivative of it. We want to get it to the point where all I've got to do is check out the repository, fill in some values, and then go.
Oh,
Right,
absolutely.
because we can even the steps that we take, like the brew install, we can do that. We can even script that. Just
Yep.
these are the minimum values that we need.
Yep. The tap sensitive values -112.1.2.yaml
Mhm.
is the original that I populated with my secret. No, the other one, the one above that.
Oh,
That's what I SOPs encrypt.
okay,
Sorry, excuse me. No, in the folder sensitive file structures, right?
got it.
The sensitive values 1.2.
Mhm.
Click that guy. That's one of the files we SOPs encrypt. You can see where obviously you'll be
Yep.
in putting in your values. And then user registry Docker config. Again, I have some tidy up to do. I have my secrets repeating twice in this because different components are reading them.
Okay.
And I have it repeating yet again in the user registry Docker config. So
Yeah.
we'll need you to take those and replace those with the interpolated values that are coming from your environment. And then
Okay.
we'll create an age key with the age key gen, and then we'll SOPs encrypt with SOPs minus encrypt. And then you'll be able to replace my Tanzu tap sensitive values 12.sops.yaml and my user registry config SOPs YAML.
Okay.
Let's see, where is
I don't know why this is taking so long to brew.
Let's see, can it be brewed? Yeah, it's a homebrew formula. It's just
It's just my my computer is being shy. You know what's happening? Just being shy.
Mining coin in the background. Yeah, brew install AGE should do it for us.
Oh,
here we go.
let's do brew update. Come on. Shouldn't I do this fairly often?
Try brew install age, not HKGen.
Why is this brew update not working? I'm just embarrassed. Like, what is happening? Like, there's lots of stuff going on. It's doing stuff, right? This is all happening right now. There we go. Wait, it's saying it can't find stuff? Could not read from remote repository. Please make sure you have correct access right in the repository. What does that mean? I don't even understand. Well, this is going to be super frustrating. Brew update. One more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's doing all the things. We'll figure it out.
Does it need an update? Can you just try brew install age?
Oh, we could probably just do that. Let's just try brew install age.
See what happens.
Pitching.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Brew install SOPs. Can you do with SOPs as well? Yeah, there's a KSOPs formula. Brew install KSOPS.
Like that.
Try that. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So now if you go to the Tanzu doc page, we have a couple of commands that we're going to run. We're going to create our key. So make a folder, protect it, and you're going to run your HKeygen. That's going to create your master key that will encrypt your secrets.
All right. I will do this in another window.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to DDoS ourselves. Right? That's always a good practice. Right?
Yes, we can. Martha Stewart this section.
Yes. So here we go. See, I'm going to make their -p $home/temp -enc. Cool. chmod 700. Okay. And then age-keygen-o key.txt.
Yep.
So now I have a public key.
Yeah, it's actually a secret. Yeah. And then I tend to export your age secret key. So that last line in the first gray box, I'd put an export on that so it's available for the rest of your work. So ultimately, hang on.
Wait, so I'm going to put this value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Do I take the whole line, the whole public key part, or just the value?
I'm ahead of myself. You catted the file. I'm trying to look at the.
Yeah, I catted it just to show it. Mine doesn't look the same. I just have a line that looks like this.
Yeah. So for part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me just let me check my environment. Give me a second here.
I don't know why this line is here. What is this line telling me?
1 second. Finger. No, go for box number 2. That's the tap sensitive values 12.yaml. Mm-hmm. So copy that over into the same folder that you have your H key and initialize it with the values that we need. And then you're going to run the 2 lines in box number 3 on it. And what that will do is it will give us a SOPs encrypted version of your secrets encrypted with that H key.
All right. So, I'm going to step back one step. I'm going to take this value. I have this public key YAML, and I want to take this, and I'm going to put it into my env.rc.
Not yet. Not yet.
Nope, don't put that into my env.rc.
We don't need that for now. That it is a different way they want us to do it. They want
Okay.
SOPs age recipients to be set up. Actually, I'm sorry. You're right. Look what they do.
Right.
With just the environment variable name is SOPs age recipients.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go here. I'm going into my env.rc, and I'm going to do this export age key equals, and I'm going to put this value in here, and I'm going to go ahead and show everybody because we'll remember this. We'll clear it up later.
Yeah, exactly. This environment.
Come at me, right? So I'm going to do that, and then I'm doing my
Note the environment variable name SOPs age recipients is better because, or you can, alias it.
But then, yep, here
use that.
I'm going to do this line.
Yeah. Oh, and just sub in.
And I'm going to do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Instead of this, I'm just going to do
$HK. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. $1 should be enough.
Right.
Your H key is already doing.
Oh wait.
Crap on the set.
So
your H key is your SOPs age recipients. Just that A equal B.
Yeah, because I didn't have this.
Yeah, you essentially copy pasted rather than using this grep plus set command.
Oh, so I could just leave this SOPs age key.
Yeah, just call it SOPs age recipients equals SOPs age key. Yeah, done. Yep.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So now you've done that.
I'm adding some notes here.
Sure.
Age keygen -o key.txt. So this env.rc, I'll make it into a template that kind of tells you like what to fill in,
right?
So that we can go. And this is how I generated this value.
And so now you're going to be filling in the rest of your Docker values, which you can pull out of your locker.
With this.
And that's after we initialize the file encrypted. So we're going to be taking tap sensitive values 12.yaml.
Yep.
Bring it over into the folder. Interpolate it with your variables that have your real secrets, so that it has all of your secrets in there.
Okay.
We run the SOPs command to turn them into sealed secrets.
So this project path, I'm going to put this in here so that things match up.
Yeah.
Project path.
Yeah. Now for me, my project path was Fynes/build service. So you might have a /build service because we use Kpack.
Like that? Is that all right?
That's fine. Yeah.
And then username.
That's just your Docker Hub username.
Docker Hub _username. It's here. I got that.
Yeah.
And Docker Hub _password. I'll fill that in later.
Yeah, and then under build service, then
same.
This
will be the same values up here, right?
That is correct. We'll be repeating.
Okay. So these are the same values here?
Yes, they're identical.
Okay.
And again, identical. So I use the username and password again. I've got some cleanup. I configured it. And then this last section on the tap GUI, if we want, this is to let us log in with our GitHub ID into tap GUI. Because I allow a guest access, we can do that later. Or you can give it a Git. You can go off and we can go into Git and create a personal access token.
Okay, I can do that real quick. I'm going to show that.
It's settings where we
go to github.com. The way to create a personal access token is settings, and down here developer settings.
Every time I go in here, I have to MFA and open up my authenticator.
Did you do a fine grain token or a classic token?
I said classic.
Classic. Generate new token.
Actually, mine was an application, a GitHub app.
Not a
Yeah, because I let it read. I just made it. I gave it actually read right to my repos.
So
Uh,
you did a GitHub app?
yes, I did a GitHub app. Yes, so I need a client ID and a client secret.
Let me
You probably want to go off screen
here.
for this
Yeah.
one.
Well, I want to show how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm authenticated. Cool. I'm going to call my Fynes.deshawn.io. Yeah. GitOps. Good tab. So then do I need the homepage URL?
All I have in mind is an ID and a secret right now. What did I do here? No, I just did I come back to this part? Oh yes, top GUI home. You know what? This might be an old one I'm looking at. Let me see which key I used recently. Oh, did I?
Here's what I can do. I'm going to take a guess that based on this, it says tap GUI app config auth providers. I have a GitHub auth provider.
Yeah.
For development, I have a client ID and a client secret. Yeah, it is a GitHub app. But what I don't know is what's the URLs to fill in to let GitHub do the authentication.
It will be the tap hyphen GUI dot whatever our wildcard ingress domain is going to be.
Oh, so I can't create this key yet.
Well, you can. You know what domain you're going to put your cluster on?
Yeah, we did that.
GUI dot that domain. That's where tap GUI will live.
Okay, so when I'm here, the GitHub,
Yes. Here we go.
the auth URL equals tap dash GUI dot wildcard domain. Is that right?
I have. Yes. My homepage URL. I just left it at the homepage. For now, I have. I'm just looking where the redirect because it's more about. Yeah, this is about GitHub having the permission.
Tap dash GUI dot Fynes dot Sean.io. I don't have to have a callback.
Right now,
I can expire. So that's the only thing I need.
yeah.
Oh, I need a web. I don't have to have a webhook URL.
My webhook is active, but again, for the purpose of this was just to give me an ability to So ultimately, we get a login with GitHub, we get punched over to GitHub, and then we get redirected back as part of the login flow.
Should I leave the webhook on or off?
Mine's on, but I don't even know if I have it set up properly right
Do you
now.
have a URL? Okay.
I just put my root. I know I just put the root context tapgui dot wildcard domain.
Like that?
Again, that's fine. Again, we can come back to it.
And repository permissions.
So this is where your when you log into tap GUI, what kind of permissions are you going to have from tap GUI? And generally speaking, I start with you have read access to your repos.
Yeah.
And if we were going to do a deeper integration where from the tap GUI it would create repos for you, obviously we would enhance the secrets, the authenticated principals permissions.
So not admin, not
No,
checks.
right now it's read repos.
Where's that one? Right here. This one. I want read and write.
Yeah.
Repository contents, commits, branches.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it?
For now.
All right. No organization, no account permissions. Subscribe to events. Don't need to.
Yeah.
Where can this GitHub app be installed? Only this account?
That's right.
Yes.
So you should have a client ID and this copyable client secret.
Okay, home page must be a valid
Yes.
URL.
Prefix with protocol, I believe. Oh,
That'll be fine. I'll get my SSL validation.
yeah. All right, lovely.
Right.
So client created now client secret, parked out with your client ID, and they'll be your next two values.
Oh wait, I have app ID. This is my client ID.
Yes, sir. You're in my case, the client ID is looking like, let's see. Mine doesn't have the period as a third character. It's like, let's see.
I'm going to generate a new client secret.
Yeah.
And now I have a client secret. And I will go into stealth mode on this.
Mm-hmm.
Which it'll show up later, but we'll make this stuff temporary.
Yeah. Housekeeping.
So I have client ID and a client secret. It's there. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. So I think we're ready. You've got your Docker Hub username cred. You've got your GitHub client ID, client secret. This is where you start now putting those environmental variables in so you can expand this out before we encrypt it.
IP allow list. I don't need to do that, right?
Not right now.
All right. So there I've got those. I've got those values for client ID and secret there in my envrc. So now I want to do this. I want to take my tap sensitive values and encrypt them. But I've got to first fill in these values
Correct.
in my YAML.
Expand out that YAML with the real values in the file.
So what I'm going to do is I want to, what's the right way to do that? So this is my thing. I want to fill these in. I'm going to make a slightly different file for tap sensitive values 12. I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy it to .template.
Yeah.
This is me knowing kind of the end result and wanting to start from the beginning. So I'm going to make this file because I want to simplify it as much as possible. Or here, I'm going to actually rename that.
Seems like a use case for YTT.
Yep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my values.
Mm-hmm.
What's the right way to do this? I have another example of this somewhere.
Let's see.
I'm thinking GitHub. I'm searching where I want to use the values in my environment to populate this file.
Yeah.
And I do. I can't. I'm gonna have to look through my repository to figure out where I did this because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
You can do it with like I'm just googling the Carvel data values examples, and there's something on OS environment variables. You can do the dash data value. So if we make this a YTT compatible template, and then we can do a YTT command on it, and we can start doing dash data dash value on the command line with environmental variable names. I think that's one way to do it. I'd have to get a sample here. So let's see if I can do a little hack here. It's good you're calling out these things because I did it once and then just left it. I never got around to tidying it up like this.
I get it.
Good feedback. Let me just see if I can create a little YTT example here to do that. Bear with me.
I absolutely get it. And I think I have an example. And I just need to find it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I had it in.
I just don't remember it off the top of my head. So I'm searching.
Yeah. So YTT minus F, your file, and then minus V, A equals $B, B equals $C, and so on. I can show you. I'll put a couple of things in the chat as an example.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But the look of your file. So to morph that into a template, we can't just comment with pound pling because it's going to be YTT compatible. Yes, template. So yes, okay, I've got an example here.
All right.
The first, I'm going to paste 3 lines into the chat for the front of the file.
Okay.
And then I'll give you an example of something I can play out.
Oh, you know what I should do? Let's do this. Do you have IntelliJ?
I do not. I'm on Visual Studio.
Okay.
That's an example of how I get something, and then so note you put those 3 lines at the front, at the top of your template of your file, to essentially make it a YTT compatible template.
Okay.
And then an example when we're running YTT will pass in a -URL. That's not inside the file. The minus URL is, you see the @data values cluster URL one?
Yep.
Well, if you look at the next line, -v, that's an example of a command line argument to YTT to inject the environment variable cluster URL one.
Got it. Okay.
We reference it with data values cluster URL one in the file. So where you have Docker ID, Docker Hub repo, or username, you're going to put a pound at data values, whatever, data.values, and whatever comes next is the key in -v, which will be in our YTT command later. So yeah, you could say project path, fine, and
Right.
and then data values username, data values password.
I'm gonna try to stay similar.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't want to show it off though.
Uh-huh.
Docker. What did I call it? Docker username. Yeah.
Maybe underscore. If we're using it, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think those will both work.
Yeah. And then the same again for your next tree. It's just repetition.
Oh, yep. And these are configurable later. They don't have to be the same.
Correct. We
Right.
can take whatever we want, because when you run your YTT command on this file,
Yep.
YTT -f this file space -v, and then you'll have, for project path, you'll have -v project path equals $project path if that's where you have it kept, and -v username equals $username if that's how you have it kept, or
Yep.
$username.
And then this is create ID. Okay. Well, that works. So now, if I want to populate this so I can take these examples out.
Yeah, I have the actual command I use in my old script is in the chat. And you can see how I'm going to run YTT on $1 being this file. And by the way, that's 3 lines. I think the at pound, the hash at loads would be on new lines. So your first line should be made into 3 lines. Yes. And I have base64 use, but we may or may not. We're not using it today because we're not putting any certs in. Those next 2 can go away. Okay, so what we can do is if you have your environment variables initialized, then it is YTT minus F, tap sensitive values 12 template by YAML.
Well, I don't have YTT installed.
Ah.
I'm so embarrassed right now. I can't even believe it. Carvel.set YTT install script, install other call. That's cool. Right, let's just do this. Oh wait, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm. That's an easier way to do it.
Yep. Which is weird. But let's put that in here too. No. This one. We're just going to do YTT for now.
Yeah.
And then I should be able to do YTT version. Okay, we're good.
Cool.
So now my command
It'll be
is over here.
Yeah.
We said.
So we're going to change $1 to just point to this file that we have above us. The tap sensitive values 12 template.yaml, wherever that file is.
Yeah. Oh, cluster config, sensitive file structures, tap sensitive values dot template.
Yeah. Now, each of the keys in the -v arguments is the part after data.values in your template. So if you open your template off while we're here.
I'm going to copy this.
Sure.
I'm going to copy this over to my setup here. And this is the I'm going to put it into a readable format.
Yeah.
Boom. So here's the file. And then each of these -v's are the values.
So the lowercase keys in each of the -v's maps to whatever comes after the word, the .data.values, whatever's after values.
Okay.
And on the right side will be wherever you want to source it from an environment variable. And I've found that I can't pipe this into something, so we save in the temporary file, encrypt it, and then delete the temporary file.
All right, so I need the project path.
Project underscore path would be the first -v, yeah.
Project underscore path.
And
equals $project path.
Yeah, that's what I think you said that too. Yeah.
And then the next one.
Your username.
Again, I'm just copying these Docker username, Docker password.
Correct.
Docker.
Autocomplete works too fast.
Oh, yeah. And
You had a project path.
Project path, username, password.
There.
Got it. Oh, and then just GitHub client ID and GitHub client secret. GitHub client ID. I have it as GitHub client ID.
Is it because you did the triple backtick bash that it's doing the projection based on environment variables?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
GitHub client
Nice.
secret.
It's too fast. All right, so
Out to
/temp anywhere you want. Where you can put it somewhere as long as we delete it afterwards, because obviously it's your inline secrets. What we will do is we will take this output file and we're going to SOPs encrypt the output file and then delete the output file. So the command we're going to run on this temp.yaml, you have an L missing, by the way, at the end. Just put it anywhere. If you go to the Tanzu doc, you'll see a SOPs-encrypt.
All right. Do I have to do this? Do I have to put these lines here?
Yeah, I think so. Good catch. Okay. And on your next line, SOPs-encrypt. And let's see, does the SOPs encrypt?
That was here. This.
Yes. So your input file to this will be your temp.yaml. It's SOPs space -- encrypt /temp YAML. And the output would be ideally in the values folder, and it could be your tap sensitive values 12.sops.yaml, which you want to replace.
Tap sensitive values -12.sops.yaml, right?
Yeah, we can delete the one that's present in your repo because it won't be any use to you. You don't have my H key. Okay. And then that's a little bit of hygiene. You can make sure that later on you delete the temp file, but I guess we might want to.
Right. I can just put that here, right? I can just say.
Maybe don't delete it yet. Make a comment to do it because you'll want to double check it yourself off the share screen.
Okay.
Validation that it's getting initialized properly.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to run this once.
Yeah.
I should be able to copy and paste all of this into my bash terminal.
Right.
I'm going to do it on another screen just because
Sure.
I have no idea what it's going to look like.
And you will, in your temp.yaml, you should see the right values.
So I'm pasting, go, SOPs command not found. Oh, I didn't install SOPs.
Thought you got SOPs.
I did brew install KSOPs. Did I run that? I thought I did. Says 421 already installed. So
which SOPs? I grabbed the binary release.
Yeah. So KSOPs installing brew install KSOPs did not install it.
Okay.
So let's fix that real quick.
Yeah, it's in Mozilla SOPs releases. Here we go. I can in the chat.
Okay.
Should be able to get an AMD 64 version there. Darwin. I just pulled the binary.
All right. Hold on. Copy link. Let's put that in the comments. So anybody that's watching, that's following along.
We're paving the foundation.
All right. So let's go there.
Scroll down. You should see a Darwin AMD 64. Are you already?
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
So this is where we might want to use another tool, vendor, where we could go and pull those down. So I'm going to put a little note.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids are home. I'm gonna put another note. How was school? Hey, sweetie pie. Say hi to Mark and the rest of the world that's watching because
Oh,
we're live. You had a good day at school? Okay. You go back upstairs. And what time is Kiki coming? Okay. I will come and get you when I'm done with this. I love you. All right. We're going to go and grab that. I think I did it already. And then let's install it. And in order to install it, I'm going to do sudo install downloads sops sops 2/user local bin sops. All right, so now if I do which sops, I have one, and then I can copy this again, copy, and let's paste it from the root. Oh, what did I do? It pasted funny. It says YTT does not accept extra arguments. What? Hold on.
did you have a -f before your source file?
Yes.
-v. Let's see what you got.
Are these slashes the right way? Or are they supposed to be like this?
No, they should be back. That part's fine. What are you getting? YTT?
Hold on. Let me clear it so I can see it again. Hi, sweetie pie.
Do you want to come help your wife?
Oh, well, tell my wife that I'm in the middle of something right now, and then I'll come up in a little bit, please. Okay, but look at. See, that's Mark. I'm working with Mark right now. Okay.
Who are you?
We're on this. We're right there.
Huh?
See, Mark's waving.
Where?
Look, stand up. Right there. See?
Hi.
See how we're both there? And he's saying hi. All right, you go back upstairs. Okay.
Dad, tell him that I had 2 plums.
Oh, she had 2 plums, Mark.
Oh, cool.
He says that's very, very cool. Now, I love you.
Dad, can I put one of your stickers on your trash?
Yes.
Yeah, get 'em.
Oh, okay. Hold on one sec. Here you go. She's gonna put a sticker. This one's MongoDB on the trash can. That's one thing that we get to do when we're on our way out. All right. So I did YTT /-v.
But that YTT -f.
It said YTT does not accept extra arguments. Oh, there's an extra space somewhere. Oh, that's okay. I think I got it. Why is that looking funny?
What did we get wrong here?
Why? I'm gonna try this again.
Here.
See, again, I don't like doing bash.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it when I have to.
Yeah. What have I got going on here?
Same thing. It says.
YTT -f. Is there any regular comments? Can we go to your template file? Let's just take a look at that. Scroll up to the top. I think you don't need a space after I think the third space in on the first 3 lines shouldn't be there. I'm just checking now. Again, I'm grasping, but let me see. I'm just going to compare. No, that's the same. Capify use AKS template.yaml. That first line was the file name.
Wait, I think I know. I think I know what I did. Hold on. Here, wait.
No.
I don't understand what's happening here.
Go to the template file and go to line 1.
Okay.
I think we don't need line 1. I can't remember why I had that. Because that's the file name that I had it in originally. Let's see
Okay.
if it's on now. Try that.
All right. No, same thing. So yeah, we'll figure this out.
I'll do one thing here.
So I have Docker password, Docker username. I have a project. Wait, do I have project path? Yes, I have project path. So here's what I can do to make this maybe a little bit easier. Let's put this all in one line. Because I can still copy and paste. Let's try this. Ta-da. So it's just me not knowing Bash. It's just me not understanding Bash. Oh, my password didn't get filled in. I got to go get a password into my envrc. Please hold. I need a GitHub. Wait, no. I need Docker. And for Docker, I need an access token.
Yeah.
Let me put that into my .envrc. And wait, I didn't copy my GitHub client secret. So I got to do that real quick again. GitHub at generate a new client secret, which is super easy. Let me copy that one and delete the old one and put this one into my client secret. And good. Boop, boop, boop. Dir env allow. So now my environment's all configured. And then I'll rerun my YTT command. And I'm going to take a look at my cat temp.yaml. And it looks like it should look. Okay, so now I'm going to run the SOPs encrypt command. I'm going to copy that and I'll paste that into the same. It says allow. Sure, let's allow it. Oh, wait, it didn't allow it. Let me try that one more time. It says SOPs can't be opened because Apple cannot check it for malicious software. The software needs to be updated. Let's go to my security system settings. And there's like a, right, it's privacy and security, where it's going to say, hey, we didn't let you run SOPs.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I want you to run it anyways.
I've always wondered just something we can do to get rid of it so that doesn't happen. We've far too many examples of that happening.
Okay, so now, look at this. I've got a encrypted SOP values.
Look at that. That's awesome.
All right. So let's review. Given we've got age installed, and we will vendor.
Yep.
We can vendor the SOPs. Oh, wait. Somebody just joined the stream.
I've told people that I'm working on this.
Oh, so you send them the stream?
Yeah.
All right. So I can add them in and they can be a visitor, or they can watch it live on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know. I sent them just the link. I didn't realize, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, that works. Watch this. I will go ahead and I'm going to add Gary to the stream. And Gary, you're now on the stream. We can't see your camera, but I think we should be able to hear you.
Yeah,
We're
you
streaming
guys
on
hear me okay?
YouTube. We're streaming on LinkedIn and Twitter. So welcome. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're doing
Can
the
you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Yeah.
We're
Thanks for inviting me.
scripting.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Hey, what are you guys up to?
So we have a GitOps reference install for tapping some Spring Boot apps and some Postgres databases and Spring Cloud gateways and everything. But we're going from 0 to hero. So Deshaun has forked my repo, and
Yep.
we're doing the test of him going completely from scratch and running it from 0 on a fork of that repo.
So here's the repo that we're forking. That's Mark's repo. So I made a fork, and then as we go through, we realize like here's some of the instructions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these instructions, and I'm trying to put them into the README down here.
Okay.
So I'll do a PR when we're done. That says, hey, step 1, step 2, step 3. I want this to be a quick start for you, Gary, for the next time. So I'm going to try to identify all the things, the minimum number of things that we need. And then I want you to be able to do a copy paste, or better yet, like a CLI go.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing, Deshaun, we did the top sensitive values. I also need us to do the user registry Docker config. It's a workaround I'm using for the moment. It's again, their same secrets.
So we want to do another.
Except I created that. You see the create user registry Docker config.sh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We want to go create our Docker secret with.
So I can just do this.
It's the same values you've been putting elsewhere. Yeah. I don't think you want single quotes around that, or it might not escape it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can run that.
So if I run this,
create a user registry Docker config, then stops encrypted. So the same stops encrypt command, except it's going to encrypt user registry Docker config.yaml.
Right.
Wherever you run that. Oh, and I wonder it's a dry run. You don't need to be connected to a cluster for dry run, I don't think.
Say that one more time.
So running kubectl commands. Unless you've got I don't know if you got your target cluster ready.
I don't.
I think when you run dry run, I think it works anyway, because I think it just gives you the command that it would run.
So let's just do this. Oh, it's going to put that down here in the wrong spot.
Maybe go off screen to validate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's base 64. Fine. All right, you got something in there. Cool. Now we want to stops encrypt that guy before it becomes part of your public repo.
Okay. And then, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this command instead of making it into a shell, because where my head's at today is I want to make a CLI for this project that just says like step 1. And we could even have it like ask, like fill in your username, and then we can export it. Fill in your blah, so that we can have, if you've got EVRC, cool. But these are the things that we're trying to fill out in your environment, and then just do the steps. That's where I'd love to get to. So one step beyond GitOps, it's like commit, go, and then that CLI can actually be used in your pipeline.
Magic.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, we've put the same 2 secrets in like 5 places. There should be very little exposure for the user to provide data here.
Awesome. So, all right. What we're going to do here is I want to take that command and I'm going to copy it over to my README. Again, just trying to document as we go.
That's awesome.
So here, so we did that. I want to do one more step. Kubectl create secret, do the dry run. Yes, that same values. That's fine. But I'm going to put this into /clusters tap. Oh no, I'm going to encrypt it.
Correct. We're going to leave it somewhere temporary. Stops encrypted like we did the other one.
So I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do rm/temp/temp.yaml because I've already validated it.
Yep.
And I'm going to do the same thing.
Stop/encrypt on your user registry Docker config.
I'm going to put this to /temp/that and sops. Docker config.yaml.
I want to redirect that into
out to /clusters/tap lab/cluster-config/ sensitive file structure, right?
No, config. Just leave it in config.
Just in. So it'll be in this directory?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a tap install folder there, right? Are we in clusters, tap lab, cluster config? Sorry, the config.
Oh, cluster config. Got it.
Config, sorry. Yeah.
Can I ask you what's the target IaaS here?
Doesn't matter.
We haven't decided yet.
Okay.
We've done nothing specific to an IaaS in any of this yet.
Yep.
So I'm going to put it into here, user registry Docker config.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I'm doing, Gary, is once this initial yak shaving is done and we have our GitHub and Docker Hub secrets SOPs protected, then we're basically one wildcard domain setting away from putting this anywhere. And the GitOps scripts run regardless of the cloud it's on. So I got 3 of these. I've got an AKS, EKS, and GKE one. The only caveat is for a given wildcard domain, you may only do 6 installs in a week. Then you get you hit a let's encrypt rate limit and you got to wait. So hence you see some of these demos I have with, AKS Lab 1A or 1B or 1C.
Okay.
But we obviously won't hit that unless we are doing lots of, iterating and wiping it and starting again and wiping it. Every so often, you got to give yourself a new domain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does Let's Encrypt care if you do different subdomains?
No, this is the beauty of it. You can go crazy. It's not a wildcard that gets overused. It's the FQDNs themselves, because there's no wildcard certs issued. All certs are being issued on the fly. So I have HTTP solvers for the TAP portal, the Backstage portal, the API portal, any of my Spring Cloud Gateway instances, and they all are coming in through the Contour ingress.
Right.
But the Let's Encrypt HTTP solver brings up a challenge receiver temporarily and says, hey, I've got I can respond to a challenge on a specific FQDN. I'm only going to, Let's Encrypt will only permit that challenge, I think it's 6 times in a week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
but
that's good.
I think we're in good shape here.
So now I see that I've got some other examples here.
Yeah. So
Let's just keep on going.
Yeah. I think we're there. What you need is a Kubernetes cluster.
All right.
I have create scripts for AKS, CKS, GKE. I found AKS the fastest provisioned. But again, I'm not picking privates. I need a default storage class, and I need a load balancing service, and I need some space underneath that can satisfy PV claims.
All right.
And other than that.
So this is a good example of where, like, hey, let's have those examples. So what I'd like to do is we'll pause here because my kids are getting a little bit restless.
Sure.
But what I'd like to do is say, hey, if I've got install scripts for AKS, EKS, et cetera,
yeah,
this same setup, what we have, the steps that we've done, I should be able to just apply to the
this morning. I have the exact thing we have here running in all 3 clouds. Each one's about 20 minutes of install time. Not even. I think it depends. You can bring your clusters up depending on the cloud in 10 to 20 minutes. And then once you have your clusters, this will install. Now, what happens is because of the values file, the only thing specific to an environment is really the domain.
Mm-hmm.
So you can create an AKS domain, an EKS domain, a GKE domain, whatever you want.
Yep.
And we're going to run one command, because your age key recipient's environment variable is set, you will basically target a Kubernetes cluster. We install Tanzu cluster essentials. That's a caveat. We need Carvel inside with cap controller. But if we enable that cluster with Tanzu cluster essentials, then we're deploy.sh. It's a command we just run from this repo, and the rest of it rolls. So the next steps we'll be doing is we'll provision a Kubernetes cluster. Second, we will deploy Tanzu cluster essentials, the Carvel package, and secjam to that cluster. It's cap controller, yeah. And then it's actually the ability to process Carvel packages. And then we will run the deploy.sh that is in the Tanzu sync scripts folder.
Where is it?
It's in, you see on your left, you see
Tanzu sync
/scripts / deploy.sh. And then during that just deploy.sh. Not deploy Tanzu sync. Yeah. And when that installation is going on, we monitor it until such time. So I do a kubectl -n Tanzu -system hang on. I do a kubectl get kubectl -n Tanzu system ingress. So kubectl -n Tanzu system ingress get svc -w. And I watch that. And when I get the public IP from the load balancer that Contour creates, I'll update my DNS wildcard entry. If it's Amazon, it's a C name. If it's the other guys, it's an A record. But I upgrade my wildcard. Now, the other thing, I forgot, there is one other thing we talked about, we didn't change. You've got to give yourself, in the non-sensitive values file, you should, actually, we should do a global search and replace for EKS Lab 1A tap finds ecom. You see at the very top up there?
Yep.
Global search and replace that whole thing, because I have a few other references, because I had to set up some specific HTTP proxies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to replace them with whatever your wildcard is going to be across about half a dozen files.
Okay.
And that's it. So update the ingress domain globally. It's not in one place only. I wish it was. Do the steps I talked about. Update your DNS record to point to your wildcard version of this.
Yep.
And we should be in great shape.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We'll take a break today. We'll circle back next week.
To be continued.
And yeah, we'll pick it up from there.
And I appreciate it, Sean. This is great because this is really testing out what are the missing links in this.
Yeah.
And what have I kind of overlooked? Have I hidden environment variable? Or, like, for example, one thing that I forget now is when we kick off the installation, I do have some PivNet, TanzuNet credentials hiding somewhere. I have to. And one of my scripts is picking them up. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to pull the information down from Tanzu, the Carvel packages in. So that's just thinking out loud of another thing we got to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But your TanzuNet credentials need environment variables.
So I have this other repository I'll revisit. That's just it starts off at something simple, but I'm just going to simplify this.
Yeah.
AKS deploy Terraform. So I want to be able to do Terraform apply. I've got a cluster, then deploy.sh. Like, hey, fill in these values and go and connect the dots.
Yep. And if you do your deploy.sh once, remember the steps we did today, you can nuke your cluster and you can bring it back, but you can keep your secrets files in SOPs form. Yep. Sounds great.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Gary, thanks for joining.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend.
You too, sir. Have a good one.
We'll do this again next week.
Absolutely.
All right. See ya.
Bye.